Question. Why is the podcast called the Petal Cafe?
We love to imagine the before times, the pre-calamity times when we would sit down at a coffee shop with our friends and chat over a hot drink and a pastry. We aim to recreate that feeling while we keep the conversation going, and today we get to continue our conversation with our guest Starlinggg while we talk about Eastward. Here at the Petal Cafe, we believe that anyone can be a capital G gamer. We spend our precious downtime adventuring, exploring, building worlds, and appreciating games that give us that cozy vibe. Grab a cup of your favorite bevy and settle in while we poke around the world of wholesome video games with this week's special guest, Starlinggg.
Yay!
Aw, thank you.
And hi, so I am Cookie. I am a variety streamer focusing on Nintendo and indie gems, mostly of the wholesome kind. I've got 2 quite vocal cats who you might hear sometimes in the background, and I also do art journaling. I would normally stream about twice a week, but I'm currently on hiatus. But you can find me anyway at twitch.tv/cookie_TPC.
Your username's still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. Hello, I am Biscuit. I'm a variety game streamer. I play both Nintendo and PC games. I also have a vegan artisan soap shop called Terrine Suds. You can find me at terrinesuds.etsy.com. I also have a dog who is always on my streams. She's got her own little camera. Her name is Petal, and she's a 9-year-old Chihuahua. And you can find me at twitch.tv/biscuit_TPC.
Yay. Nice to chat with you guys. Thank you for having me.
Want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, totally. And my name is Starlinggg. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a 30-something woman based in the U.S. I'm a mom to a tuxedo cat named Atlas. Atlas may occasionally make an appearance as well. I like to crochet. I'm really into that. I've been learning to crochet over the last 2 or 3 years. And I also like streaming decision-based games, like really narrative-heavy games on Twitch at our twitchtv.starlinggg. So 3 G's in Starlinggg.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Well, welcome, Starlinggg.
So nice to have you.
Thank you.
Oh, we have so much to talk about this week.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, we saved up 2 weeks of news for y'all.
We did.
Yeah. It's a lot of news.
Let's start with, although by the time the podcast goes up, the podcast version of this goes up, that will be finished, but for this moment, you can still get in on the Itch bundle for Ukraine. Which is a $10 minimum donation with all proceeds donated to charities supporting the Ukrainian side of the current conflict. So we will have, I think we can put that link in the chat. I can do that.
Oh, I can do it.
Can you? Okay.
Yep.
I grabbed it yesterday and I was shocked to see that there are some games in there that I had completely forgotten about that were totally in my queue.
Ooh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
There's so many games.
Oh my gosh, so many games. It's like there's 990 something games in this bundle. The previous bundle that I had gotten was 600 and something. So.
Yeah, the India bundle. Bundle.
Yeah. So I did notice there's a bedtime digital games game in there called Back to Bed, which I haven't played yet.
Already own it.
Yeah. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
And Inmost, which I have been waiting to play. And Hidden Folks is the one I was playing last night. What an adorable game. Can't recommend it enough. If you like sort of Where's Waldo type seek and finds, really good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And all of the... I just have to give it a shout out because all of the sound effects are just a couple of people being like, boop, and like broom, broom,
Oh my god,
like
that's
recording
so
these
funny.
little sounds. It is so cute.
That is so
Aw.
funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I nabbed that and have been playing it.
I haven't played anything new yet. I did make that donation, so I have access to those games. And I was just really surprised to see like Celeste on there. I actually never got around to playing Celeste, so I need to do that. And there's another game in there called Minute. It's sort of like
Mhm.
a Zelda style adventure game where you
Mhm.
have a lot of tasks to do and a
Mm.
map to explore, and you have to get it done in a minute. And
Oh, that's
it
hilarious.
takes overall about a couple hours to finish the game itself, but I thought it was really unique and is definitely a good game that's in there. Minit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the bundle yet, but I plan to on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it's still there. I don't necessarily need all of the games, but I think that it's a cool thing that all of the like a bunch of developers came together and said,
Mm-hmm.
we are in support and stand behind the Ukrainian
Yeah.
side of the conflict. So,
I think you only have until end of day tomorrow to pick that up, Biscuit.
oh, one day too late.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to figure out how to get it. Anyway, I want to support.
Fair. What's next on our list?
Okay, so there was a test done on the OLED Switch. So any owners of the OLED Switch,
Like me.
I have good news for you. According to a test that Bob Wolf did, it takes 3,600 hours of continuous gameplay to show any signs of OLED burn from the game images.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
A lot of
so
hours.
I don't. And that's not just 3,600 hours in total. That's like continuous usage. So never turning your Switch off for what is 3,600 hours divided
It's
by?
150 days. I was
There you
just pulled
go.
out my calculator.
Thank you. 150 days straight, like
Yep.
24 hours a day. Like
You
I
might
kind of
destroy your
think that's a
battery too.
little
Well,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, you probably destroy your battery before you destroy your screen. So anyway, good news for OLED Switch users. Um,
Yeah, that's a decent stat.
I was on the fence about an OLED Switch. That definitely has helped me decide that if I do, I might get one. Um,
Mm-hmm. If at some point you
First,
need another Switch, then that might be the way
yeah,
to go.
yeah, exactly. First, a new computer.
Yes, priorities.
Yes, priorities. Um, yeah, gotta price that out and decide if I want to do pre-built or just like throw all the parts onto a wish list and just like buy it from there. Eventually, over time, since graphics card seems to
All right, what have we got
prices are coming
next?
down.
Okay, and we're back. Hi,
And we're back.
friends. What were we talking about? F-Zero.
Oh, F-Zero!
Yeah.
It's a plane. It's a plane game, or is it a racing game? I forgot. I remember
It's
playing
a
it when I was
racing game.
younger. I remember playing it when I was younger. Yeah, it's coming to Nintendo Online.
Cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I'll try it out.
Yeah. So, moving right along. Nintendo of America said that they're delaying the release of Advance Wars, which was supposed to come out on April 8th, due to current world events. And I think that's probably a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only because it's a decent thing to do, but also because it probably wouldn't look very good on them to release, war strategy
Game.
during a war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. I was one of those people that was really looking forward to this game.
Mm-hmm.
I never really fully played Advance Wars, but I
Mm.
have picked it up a little bit here and there. When I was in high school, I worked at like a video game store, and when it was slow, I would pull out a copy of GBA Advance
Mm.
Wars and I'd play a little bit, and it was always a lot of fun. I love tactical I love tactical RPGs like that, but I mean, there's a time and a place, and right now it's not the time.
So we're now getting our first look at Snufkin.
Snufkin!
It's a musical adventure about restoring harmony and balance to Moomin Valley, protecting from the industrious park keeper, and it's all a game done by Hyper Games.
It looks so cute.
Yes, it does. It looks very, very cute.
Hold on a second.
Very excited to try that game out. Looks like a lot of fun. And then we have so Ooblets is a game that's been out for a while. It's a very non-binary farming kind of sim game where you dance you battle dance essentially. And I guess they're getting an update about the empty shop in Badgetown.
Oh, and it's like the character run shop where you can essentially sell your items or something like that.
That's a fantastic question. And if I played Ooblets, I might be able to answer it.
It looks really cute. I'm looking at it.
Look really cute.
I'm looking at a tweet from Ooblets.
Yeah, all I know about it is like you dance battle, and that's it. That's all I know.
Well, speaking of dancing, I know what I'm doing on the 11th of August.
Oh yeah, what are you doing on the 11th of August?
I'm going to be watching the live stream of the Kirby 30th Anniversary Music Festival.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be like orchestrated remixes of various styles of Kirby music, and it's free, and it's online, and it's only live. So if you don't get it, or if you don't tune in, you won't gonna get it. Wow, that was terrible speaking.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta be there to get it.
Yeah.
I love Kirby. I'm excited for that. Kirby holds a important place in my heart.
Yeah.
Kirby's Adventure was the first game I ever beat all by myself.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Good call.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal.
So I'll tune in too. I like that Kirby music. I love the really hyperactive songs too. It's like if you ever need to clean something, Kirby music's the way to go.
Good call. Well, as someone who went to see the Final Fantasy VII remake concert last week, I definitely approve of any and all video game music festivals. I've seen the Zelda one too before. It was really good.
Is it like an orchestra situation?
Yep. Ooh. Basically, they have the producer and the conductor travel from city to city, but they use local orchestras. Local talent and orchestras to actually produce the show.
Nice.
When they tour. I mean, that won't be the case for the Kirby one, but for the touring ones for Zelda and Final Fantasy, that's what they do. So it was actually the Toronto Symphony Orchestra that I saw. They were just being directed by, or being conducted by the people who put the show on. So it was pretty cool.
That sounds like a great experience. I probably would have cried when Aerith's theme came on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't have been alone.
Yep.
Moving on.
I lost my sheet. 1 second.
It's okay. We're talking about Chocobo GP. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Grumble, 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 grumble. Apparently, it's the worst game you could play, apparently. Like, it's okay to play, but you can't really do a lot unless you spend money.
Yeah.
So it's a full-on gacha. Like, there's no long or short about it.
But not only is it a gacha, it's a gacha you have to pay $50 freaking for.
Whoa! Wait, hold on. Is this the Chocobo game that is the racing game?
Yeah.
Oh, I was excited about that.
You can play the light version, but your paywall locked on a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And buying it for $50 odd, whatever that converts to in your currency, it might be 40 American, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Still doesn't take down all the paywalls. There's still other gacha on top of that. Like, what were they thinking?
That's disappointing.
It's
I think
very
that
disappointing.
They might have wanted to make it free and then gotcha on top of it, but like that didn't happen. Clearly.
Even if it was like $10 with gacha on top, okay. But
Yeah.
50? No.
Yeah.
Just hard no. I'm so disappointed.
Agree.
Guess
Yeah.
I'll be just playing Mario Kart DLC when that drops soon.
Oh yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
What have we got next?
Yeah. There's a planned release in late 2022 on Steam for a game called Moonlight in Garland.
Yes.
It looks like
go ahead.
Oh yeah, it looks like it encourages players to find themselves, love, designing a home, and explore a big city at their own pace.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like fun.
It looks to be very much Stardew inspired.
It sure does.
Yeah. I'm just going to copy the link here for the chat. It looks really, really nice.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
Nice.
Wholesome game, town to explore.
Yeah. Right? I mean, still haven't played Stardew yet, but I'll get there.
It'll always be waiting.
We just got you to play Don't Starve together. So
yeah. Baby steps.
We're working on you.
A game that I raved about on our previous episode, Puzzles for Clef. Their developer, which is called Weasel Token, great name, are in Ukraine. They gave an interview about things that are happening there and what it's making the landscape of European game development look like right now. It's really interesting. I'm going to share that as well in the chat. You can read it or listen to it, the interview that they did about what's going on and what it actually looks like over there, and what he thinks is going to happen going forward with game development in the area.
I hope that they're okay.
Yeah, I hope everybody's safe.
Yeah.
On a cool note, though, North America had its first game development union, which is super exciting. Dev is Vodeo Games, and their staff is remote throughout the US and Canada.
Yeah, so, and not only, it's a staff of about 12 or 15 folks, including independent developers or independent contractors, which, firstly, that they included independent contractors in the union, pretty cool. But the best part is that they didn't have to fight for the union. The management of the company approved it.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
Right? Pretty cool.
That is very cool.
And it's the first one in North America. Not the first one in the world. Apparently there are some studios in Europe who have this. But I think it's a really neat initiative.
It is a very cool initiative.
Step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. Slowly, but getting there. So then there's another game that came out today.
Yes. There was a really adorable game featuring a fox in a tunic, and the game is called Tunic. And it dropped on Xbox Game Pass today, or also on Steam.
It also went live on Steam today.
It is adorable. I've played about 5 minutes of it before coming on here, and all I can say is my favorite thing about it is the shrubs. The shrubs are really cute. You walk through them in the game, and they like boink around, and the art style, I don't know if you'd call it isometric, but
It is isometric because it's on that 45-degree angle.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I gotcha. It's beautiful, and I hope that the gameplay is just as fun as the game looks, because it looks amazing. So I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to playing that over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, our friend Dan360 in the chat is playing Tunic right now. I
There
Ah.
we
picked it up
go.
as soon as I got the email from Steam that it was available. I was like, yoink, mine, because I do
Well,
not have Game Pass.
I thankfully do have Game Pass. I have played so many games on there that I honestly, it's for me, it's worth it because I played all of Astroneer, even though I had Astroneer on Steam. I've played No Man's Sky on Game Pass. Uh, I've played, oh my god, so many games. I'm Fish, which I have to finish. Like it's a lot, but yeah, like I honestly, it's worth the money. The little bit of money you spend every month on a bunch of games, and you can play so many games for like instead of having to buy them all separately. Anyway, I'm digressing.
I have similar feelings. I really love Game Pass. I like having the option of playing something on my PC, because I got the I guess I have the ultimate tier or something.
Mhm.
But even on my iPad, I'm able to play some games like with the cloud streaming service, and it's great. I
That's
appreciate it.
awesome. That is
Uh,
awesome.
it probably is a bit more budget friendly than what I currently do, which is just wait for them to be on sale on Steam when I can wait. But in this case, I did not. I bought it
Yeah,
immediately.
you
It's
know
hard
what?
to
But
wait.
Tunic is such a cute game that like I'm so excited to play it. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I guarantee you we will feature it on an upcoming episode.
Oh, that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's all we have for news this week. I mean,
Yay!
obviously, a lot of other things happened, but those were the selected entries that we decided to include in our newsreel for the week.
Dance, dance, dancey.
Good news.
Yeah.
So no, we're talking about a game that I actually have like very little idea about. I have watched you stream at Starlinggg,
Yes.
and that's it. I know that Cookie has played it. I don't think I've seen Cookie stream it. So I'm at a like I am. You'll be teaching me about this game.
Cool.
Oh, good.
So
Okay. So, I have played it. Starling has played it. Right now, I am stuck at the last tower
Ah,
um, in Chapter 7.
Chapter 7. I am not in the last tower of Chapter 7. I am sort of at the beginning of Chapter 7. So there's 8
Okay.
total, I
Yeah.
believe. And so we're like pretty much in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up this game day one. I was really, really excited, and I've just sort of been slowly playing it. I think that the most wonderful thing for me about this game is the beautiful, grungy science fiction mixed with like abandoned nature,
Mm-hmm.
like hodgepodge aesthetic. And it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's got a
This,
very post-apocalyptic feeling, but
yes.
not in a
mhm.
desolate kind of way. More in a this is how we rebuilt kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, I think overall it's a pretty happy game. I mean, like there are some themes that seem a little bit darker here and there, but
Mhm.
overall, from what I have experienced,
Mm-hmm.
it's been really heartfelt and beautiful, and about how people come together to make the world better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So there's a question in the chat. What's the one sentence of what it's about?
One sentence of what it's about.
Hmm.
Um, a little girl and her guardian go east to save the world.
Oh, that's a good sentence.
Okay. There you go.
Um, so your main characters are Sam, who is the little girl, and John, who is her guardian.
Mm-hmm.
And John is a man of extremely few words, but he's really good with a frying pan, both in the terms of cooking and smashing things with it. So you get to go on this adventure with them and all the friends that they meet, and Sam does all the talking for them, which is really adorable. And you get to know John more by what he doesn't say, because he never says anything, than anything else, which I think is a really nice touch. He's sort of the silent protagonist, but at the same time, because you're playing two main characters, it doesn't seem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a cat fight happening at the top of my stairs.
Oh no.
Hello, kitties.
They have some words to say about Eastward.
They do. Plus, there's cooking, says our friend Dan Dan.
There
I
is
like
cooking.
the cooking. The cooking song.
The song.
Sorry. There's a cooking song?
Yeah, like a little jingle that plays while you're doing the cooking mechanic.
It has to be inspired by the song you get when you cook in Breath of the Wild. It's shockingly similar. Mm-hmm. But it's still a lot of fun. So you do have to cook things or purchase food items in this game to refill your hearts, your HP. And when you do cook, you can combine 3 different items plus maybe a spice. And there's this really fun little slot game that you play right before you cook as well that might add some extra buffers to whatever dish you create. So, like, maybe if you get a good score with the slot machine, it will give you 6 more hearts than the dish would normally give you.
Yeah.
And then
that's only happened to me once.
I can only ever get 2 matching slots because there's about 3 total in the slot machine, and you gotta time it just right to kind of get like the fish to line up or the pot of food or whatever else is on the slot machine.
Yeah. It's got a really interesting story that, because we haven't finished the game, we obviously can't spoil, which is great. But it's got this like creepy, cute, sinister, but serene aesthetic.
Okay.
I like that it's very high quality for pixel art. I like that the sound is extremely well executed. And the music is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. There's this one really upbeat song that comes on, and it just never fails to make me smile. It's I feel like just the overall package that you get from looking at this game, the pixel art, the music, even the font is really aesthetically pleasing. There's these adorable little text boxes that come up for every character, and sometimes they're pink, or sometimes they're blue, or sometimes it's off-white, and I don't know why, but it looks just... it's a game that's really pleasing to the eyes. And the NPCs are amazing because I think all except for one character, every single NPC has a unique art. There's one character that's like a bouncer or some sort of grunt or bodyguard, and there's a couple of them that look the same, but every single NPC looks different, has something special to bring to the table, and there's not a ton of filler text. A lot of it is just bursting with character. Everybody has something they want to say to you. Everyone says something that they want to do. It's just a lot of variety in who you're talking to as far as NPCs go. And I thought that was really just adorable. And my favorite character isn't even a character. It's a refrigerator.
Oh, the refrigerator is great.
The refrigerator is a character
Right.
you talk to in the game to save your game because there are save points, but it always gives you like some sort of mystical, mysterious,
Like
I
a
don't
nugget
know.
of wisdom.
Yeah, kind of like Pascal in Animal Crossing.
It is a little bit Pascal-ish.
Oh, really?
So, okay, for
Interesting.
example,
Okay.
one of the refrigerators talks about when you open it, it says something to you before it asks you if you want to save your memories. One of them that I'm thinking of right now says something about sometimes keeping things frozen doesn't prevent them from going bad or something along those lines.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Um, about like keeping your memories in the freezer. So I just it's so clever. It's just so clever.
Yeah, I definitely screenshotted a handful of the things the refrigerator tells me. It's like a really good fortune cookie, and
Yeah,
it's just something nice you
It's a
get.
fortune fridge.
The
a
fortune
fortune fridge.
fridge.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up.
Yeah.
It's a fortune fridge.
So let's talk gameplay.
Okay.
I was kind of intimidated at first, thinking, "What is this happening that I have to control two characters?" I found
This
that a daunting prospect.
Yeah, I have to agree. So in some parts of the game, you're controlling both of your characters at the same time, Sam and John, little girl and her guardian that Cookie mentioned earlier. And other times, like certain dungeon-like areas of the game, you kind of have to split them up and have them do separate things. Like a game that I can think of is called like Brothers. It's basically a game where you kind of have to have one character do this thing to solve this puzzle and another character like push this box so the other character can get through
Right.
this gap. And
Mhm.
I okay, so the gameplay uh, some is somewhat negative for me. I think that it just took me a long time to learn what I was supposed
Mhm.
to do. The first time I had to separate my characters to solve a puzzle, I
Mhm.
could not figure out how to get them to get back together.
Yep.
Because
I'm pretty
there's,
sure I had to look it up.
yeah, I did too. And I think I had taken a break from the game for a couple of weeks or something. And when I had gotten back to this, I ran into the same exact problem. But now that I'm late game, I know you got to press like B or something to get them
Mhm.
to kind of join together again and not walk separately.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but it is kind of challenging. I'm no expert gamer, but I did find that I was rarely at full health in this game. And I
For
kind of
sure.
wish that there were more opportunities to collect food items on your journey for free without having to pay for them. Like if
Mhm.
there were more enemy drops that might contribute to cooking a dish that might save your life before this boss battle. So you don't
Yeah.
have to, reload your save every time you're about to fight them.
Yes. Yes. Um, the the learning curve or the battle curve for some of the bosses and even some of the in between enemies is they can kill you quite quickly or you can kill them quite quickly, but it's never like there doesn't seem to be much in between.
Mm-hmm. I
You either
agree.
get it or you don't.
So
Yeah,
it's a crapshoot.
some bosses I was able to take out in without dying, without reloading a save, and then
Hmm.
others I had to do it like 10 or
Multiple
15
times.
times.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I do kind of wish to a degree there was like a difficulty option because working a full-time job. Sometimes I want to get through this game and experience the story. But
Hmm.
then with Eastward, I'd occasionally just get angry because I had used up
Yes.
all of my cakes or foods that I had made, and I couldn't find anything to heal myself with, and it was a struggle. But
Hmm.
so I had a hiatus of a couple of months where I haven't touched the game, but then
That's
I
fair.
got back into it, and I was like, you know what, this doesn't seem as hard as I remembered it being.
except when it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes you just have to like walk away from a game and to like give yourself a little bit of a mental break
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
recuperate and kind of maybe think of it in a different light
Yeah.
than you would like previously. I find that for a lot of games. Like
Yeah.
there are times where it's like you just can't figure something out, and then you put it down for a couple of days, and you're like, "Oh my god, I figured it out."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was
Um,
one particular boss where that's exactly what happened.
yeah.
I put it down for a couple of days because I was getting super frustrated, and then when I came back, I beat it in like the first time. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Suddenly you just
Um,
knew.
yeah. Apparently, it's like an old PlayStation 2 game called Cookies and Cream, which
Mm-hmm.
was great for couch co-op.
Mm.
You had to like put it down and come back to it.
Yeah.
I find Treasure Tracker to be like that too.
Treasure Tracker can be like that, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the puzzles are very, they don't go easy on you, and you don't really get a hint. Um,
No.
but there are some really excellent walkthroughs available, so I am grateful for those. I have no
Yeah.
shame about using a walkthrough when I need it. I only read to the point where I get the
You
hint
need
I was
to, yeah,
required and I close
yeah.
it. Um, I um, I definitely enjoy the gameplay progression. Sometimes the story is a bit too wordy for me.
Okay.
There's a lot of dialogue.
There's a lot of dialogue.
I
But overall, I have become more confident in my gameplay as the game has gone along.
Oh,
So I
that's
think that's,
positive.
yeah, I think that's a positive thing for me. I know that I will eventually get past the place that I'm stuck right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not today.
And that's okay. Like you're not going to get through everything all at once,
Hmm.
unless you're very, very determined and have a lot of
And
time set
very
in.
skilled, which, I'm not. But I really want to finish this game, so it will happen. Um,
Yes. I'm in the same
let's
boat. I want to know.
yeah, I want to know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Strengths of this game and weaknesses. So this is the the first title from this developer. It's not the first published by Chucklefish, obviously, but for Pixpill, the developer, this is their first game,
Okay.
and they're a
Interesting.
team that started with 2 and ended with 12. They're based in, I believe, Hong Kong or Shanghai.
Interesting.
I lost track of where they're at. And it was developed over the course of 3 or 4 years. They actually brought in um, other folks to do the music and the sound.
Mm-hmm.
The developers said that it's actually really difficult to have someone on staff to do that stuff when you're such a small studio, which I
Oh
thought was
yeah, for sure.
an interesting piece of wisdom. That what, it is actually okay to contract out for some parts of your game. You don't have
I
to do everything yourself.
This is true. I mean, like it's one of those things where, like, getting help is always okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that it's all really cohesive. I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have guessed that there was contract work
Mm-hmm.
done for this game because I feel like everything flows really well together, the
Yeah.
music and the art and the translation. If there that
Mm-hmm.
was required, I felt like it seems like it's done by a small studio and very few hands,
Right.
and that the vision is very consistent throughout.
Yeah, extremely consistent. Except for a particular part of the storyline, I will say I have been consistently impressed with both the level of mystique and clarity. Like that they walk that fine line very well when it comes to wanting keeping you into it, like keeping you interested,
Mm-hmm.
without being like, this makes no sense. So there's just, I have to say, of the entire story, chapter 6 was the weakest for me.
Chapter 6 was okay, the
Yeah.
Hollywood one.
Yeah. So
Yes, I agree.
on your journey east, you encounter, you're going through various locations. So you start in a village, and then you go to a city, and then so you're going east, obviously.
No.
There is a particular part of the story where you're encountering characters which are neither human nor robots, when humans and robots are what have been established to exist in this world.
Okay.
But these are more like anthropomorphic type characters, and in a sort of subplot that's sort of outside the rest of what's going on. I found it a bit tiresome to get through,
Okay.
because it's a long chapter. I'm glad that it's later in the game.
Was
If it
this one
had
of the
been
chapters you had a problem getting through?
no, I didn't have trouble getting through it. It just felt long, like the
Okay.
pacing was a bit off.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to agree. There was more like as you're getting through the game, and at the beginning, you start off in this on this island, and then you go to the city, and like, you're kind of getting to know new people while
Mhm.
you're in each of these areas.
Mhm.
And some of the characters will span multiple chapters. Like there's this
Mhm.
one character named Jasper that I loved. They're a delightful and excitable character that's like kind of like a bard weaving themselves into a story to sound like the hero when really they're actually a bystander, and he's
Mhm.
fantastic, and he's in multiple chapters, and he kind of follows you along, and then this character might be swapped out with another one,
Mhm.
and once you get to chapter 6, it's like forget about everybody else. Here's this new group of friends you're going to hang out with for a little while, and it just didn't really draw you into it. Didn't make me care very much
You
about
know
what
what
was
it
going
felt
on.
like is, when they do a backdoor pilot in a TV series,
Hmm.
um, where they're like, we're going to launch this other show. For instance, like CSI. When CSI went to Miami to be the springboard for CSI Miami,
Mhm.
it's only a couple of characters. They're in a completely different situation.
Mhm.
That's what it felt like in this chapter. And although it was enjoyable to play,
Mhm.
I was glad when it was over.
Yes.
And I'm glad, though, that it was later in the game, because if this chapter had happened earlier in the game, I probably would have put it down. And I think that would have been a shame. So there is at least that.
Yep. And I think once I got through that chapter, I felt like there were some mysterious aspects of, I guess, the story that were quickly teased at or somewhat, I guess, um, maybe not
Foreshadowed?
revealed, foreshadowed. Yes. And so I was drawn right back in as soon as I was done with that particular area. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's going to happen at the end of this game. I have a good idea of what might be going on with the story, but I still have mysteries I need to have solved.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to keeping on even after that little bit of a diversion where we're in this area with these characters that we don't really know much about.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that was a weakness for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
I also found that as someone who is not very confident when it comes to real time battling with enemies, I've never considered myself to be particularly good at that. Um, and I always like gravitate towards turn-based stuff. But I'm actually doing okay. It's kind of forgiving when it comes to, you just swing that pan enough times and you'll get through it, usually.
that is true because the first, I guess, weapon you get, you battle with that pan, John's
Yeah.
pan that he cooks with,
Yeah.
and
Really?
you can just
Oh
whack an
yeah.
enemy
That's his
over and
main
over
weapon.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I still keep going back to it. Like I'm in the penultimate chapter, and I'm still using that pan almost as much as I was in the beginning. So
Oh, yeah.
It
It's
is.
it's
It's
very
very.
reliable.
Yeah, it's very. The gameplay is forgiving that way. In fact, the part where I'm stuck has nothing to do with the combat at all. It's about timing and puzzle solving and remembering where you need to be when. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was really interesting. I'm like, okay, well, I know this is not insurmountable, but it's going to take me some time. So,
It's
but yeah, the
one of
combat
those.
has been a delight for me. It's not punishing.
I felt a little more punished.
Yeah.
Oh.
A little bit, because like you said, I'm more into turn-based
Mm.
RPGs or even narrative-driven games, so as I'm not so good at timing things. You know, you mentioned
That's
like
fair.
you're stuck in an area where you have to time something really specific in order
Mm-hmm.
to get through, and it takes me a lot of attempts to get through that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's just like the frustration can get to me. It's like, okay, I've tried this like 10 times.
When I put
Can
it down the other day, that's where I was at. I was like, okay, this is not happening today. I need to walk away now.
yeah, by tomorrow, be good to go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, be fine. Be fine.
Yeah. So the combat I've surprisingly enjoyed. The story I'm also enjoying. Like overall, overall I give this a solid 8 out of 10, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same area. I think probably maybe 7.5,
Mhm.
8, because I'm just struggling
Mhm.
sometimes with the combat. I'm waving my
Mhm.
pan around. I'm getting attacked by a bee or something, and it hasn't worked out in my favor all the time.
Yeah.
I think what I might have to do, there is an area in the game where you have the option to upgrade some of your items or
Mhm.
abilities,
Mhm.
and I decided, nah, but I think I might reload that save and just
Yeah.
actually do that side quest thing where that option to upgrade this ability is available. And, you know, it won't be so hard on me. Because I
Okay,
So
think,
but
does that mean that you have to go from that save onward and do like
yeah, you
all the
can't
rest
go
of the
back.
game?
You can't go back in this game. Not
right.
until you finish it.
Okay.
And I think there's 4 saves that the game, it is a little, I've had a hard time kind of picking and choosing and like saying, okay, I want to make multiples of this save. I think there's a
Mhm.
couple of auto saves the game does for you, and
Mhm.
then there's one manual save.
Mhm.
So it can be a little tricky, but I had just left this area where I should have upgraded this thing. And I'm
Okay.
like,
Oh,
you know
okay.
what? I think I played maybe a half hour more than that. So
So
I
it's
can
not even
still
like
go back.
hours to put in
Yeah.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, thankfully, no.
Um, Chat would like to know 8 out of 10 what. And then there was
With
a comment about frying pans to the face.
8
8 out of 10 frying
um
pans.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Sand droops, which is one of the fruits in the game.
Okay. I was about to
Oh.
ask, what now?
A sand droop, which is apparently a quite inedible vegetable. How
All right.
about you, Starling? Are you going to go with frying pans or something else?
I think I might go with glasses of milk
Mm-hmm.
because you're able to make. I think you can buy glasses of milk
You
in this
can.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not very great for recovering your hearts, but it's something.
It's
It's
still
cheap.
milk.
It's 10 coins or however no, not even coins. The currency in this game is salt.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Oh.
that's a really cool thing that I forgot to mention. Yeah.
yes, because salt makes the world go round. So maybe I'll go
Mm-hmm.
salt. I'll go 7.5 salt out of 10 salt. Because for me,
Excellent.
We're,
the main redeeming qualities in this game are the presentation,
mm-hmm.
the beautiful art. I'm hooked by the storyline, but I need to get good.
Yeah, I
Get
feel
good.
you on that.
I like it. I need to get good.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah. So when I looked at this game when Cookie was talking about it, and I was like, this does not seem like my. There's got a lot of talking. I mean, like, I'm all down for like a talkie game. I just finished a talkie game, but like, this seems like it has way more talkies than I want to do.
It's
It wasn't
not so bad.
It wasn't easy to stream. I think I only streamed chapters 1 through 3, and then I was like, oh man, I'm having a hard time keeping track of the voices for everybody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
yeah.
gave
And that's the thing,
everyone
like,
a southern accent.
well, that's the thing. Whenever you have like a game with multiple characters, right? Like, I was trying to do different voices for the last game I just finished, and it was very hard to keep them all straight. I am definitely not a voice actor by any means, which I'm okay with. Um, but it was a lot of drinking a lot of water
Mhm.
to keep my throat not parched.
Yeah.
I much prefer the games that I can be a little silly in, and then like reading a novel.
Yeah.
May as
Yeah.
well be. It ends up feeling like story time um, instead of playing video games.
Oh, that's fair. Some people are really good at it, and some
Oh,
people are good at other things.
yeah, some people excel at it, and I'm very happy for them.
Hmm.
That is not me. You did good though. When I did watch your stream, Starling, I thought
Oh,
I thought you did really well. So
thank you.
Also, chapter 3 is known to be very, very dialogue heavy. So,
And that's when I threw in the towel. I was like,
yeah.
maybe we'll do this later. I'll do this off stream. I
Yeah.
can read in my brain a lot faster than
Hmm.
with my lips. So
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, do I have to talk to this person again? Honestly.
you did really well in what was the singing game?
Wander Song.
Wander Song.
Hmm. Which, by the way, is in the Ukraine bundle.
it is. I need to play that.
It's so good. It's so good. I can't recommend it highly enough. I think we have reached the end of our review. I feel like we've come to a natural conclusion.
I think so. Lots of
Yeah.
good things about this game. I'm going to keep playing it.
Yeah, me too.
Fantastic. Um, thank you, Starling, for hanging out with us and explaining me this game.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you as well,
This,
Cookie.
this has been a delight, and I appreciate the perspectives that come with having another person who has played it and someone who hasn't.
Duh.
Uh, where can people find you, Starling?
The best place to find me is twitch.tv/Starling, StarlingGGG. That's 3 Gs. Starling GG.
Starling GG.
Yep. And that links to my Twitter, which has a lot more Gs,
Mm-hmm.
and also my Instagram, which is exclusively for crochet projects.
Mm,
That can be found on my Twitch channel as well. It's linked there, all in
yes,
one place.
Wonderful.
That's me. Thank you.
of course. So the Petal Cafe podcast is recorded live on Twitch and then uploaded as a podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and wherever you get your podcasts within a couple of days. If you like what you're hearing and want to know when we're recording next, head on over to Twitter and turn on your notifications to send us a DM. Sorry, turn on your notifications. Or send us a DM and get an invitation to our Discord. If you'd like more of us, check the links in the chat, comments, or the show notes for all the places you can find me, Biscuit, Cookie, and our friend Starling.
For inquiries, you can email us at thepetalcafe@gmail.com. Episodes of the Petal Cafe podcast are a production of Petal Cafe Media. Our theme music was written for us and licensed by our friend, the talented John Stewart Campbell. And special thanks to our Twitch moderator, Valvin, and all our friends who came to hang out with us today. We appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out and have a fantastic rest of your time zone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.